morning, America, and thank you for tuning in to the Sarah and Sarah in the Morning Show. My name is Sarah, and how are you doing today, Sarah? I'm alright. It's my cat's birthday, so I thought I'd treat us both to a fancy frozen TV dinner. Sounds a little pricey for your salary. Thank you for reminding me of that. But hey, at least I'm not a college athlete. Which is exactly the topic of our show today. Today we are going to discuss the hardships some athletes have to face because they cannot receive payment for their work. The NCAA refuses to pay its players so it can keep the amateur aspects of the sport. Have you seen those huge stadiums some colleges play in? I don't think there's anything amateur about that. Exactly. Instead of giving revenue back to the athletes, they put into bigger stadiums and television deals so they can make even more money. Okay, so you may not think college athletes need to be paid because they already go to college for free. But think about it. These athletes have basically accepted a job offer for, let's say, basketball. And instead of receiving monetary compensation, they are receiving schooling. And this schooling just adds more work to their schedule, and they have to do well in their classes or face suspension. Between weight training sessions, film room, practice, individual workouts, travel, and finally competition, these student athletes cannot feel much like students. Yeah, that sounds horrible. I know my cousin Ronaldo had a pretty sucky time playing soccer at the University of Utah Tech State. Yeah, I don't think that exists. I think it's just a bunch of words in colleges' titles with the word Utah in the middle of it. I don't know what you mean. Anyway, a new question that's being raised lately is whether or not the amateur status college athletes have is a label to cover for exploitation. This seems to be more and more like reality because when it comes to money, the NCAA gets a cut, universities get a cut, coaches get a cut, and the only ones that don't seem to be cashing in are the players themselves. I mean, if athletes have to be considered amateur status, then shouldn't the coaches be as well? For example, University of Texas head football coach Mac Brown's salary totals over $5 million. In comparison, scholarships for the entire Texas football team total just over $3 million. Wow, with that kind of money, you'd think he'd be able to afford some anger management classes. Yeah, that dude has some issues. Anyway, a lot of people wonder why college athletes should get paid if they could have gone straight to the professional level right off the bat. Well, they can't. In order to go into the NFL, you must have completed at least 2 years of college or be 3 years removed from high school. So many athletes are drawn to the college game out of necessity and not always desire. And this forces them into the college athlete life. Wow, this system is really messed up. It still reminds me of something I learned in my AP US history class. Wait, you took an AP class? Yeah, I think they're letting anyone into those classes nowadays. I guess so. And I think the system you're referring to is indentured servitude. From everything that we've covered, we can deduce that student athletes kind of live like slaves. In order to get to the new world or professional sports, they must perform an insane amount of work for an extended period of time without payment, which is why some have compared the system to indentured servitude or plantation system. What do you think, Sarah? What? What are you doing? I'm playing 2K, which is... It's a basketball game. They don't make the college one anymore, though. Oh, well, that conveniently ties in my next point. There was a court case this summer where a former college basketball player, Edward O'Bannon, sued the NCAA for using college players' names and faces for commercial purposes. The reason this is a problem is because the athletes still weren't getting paid for it. The NCAA would allow companies to use their players in video games without even getting consent from the athletes and kept the licensing money for themselves. Luckily, the judge ruled in favor of O'Bannon, but it still doesn't mean they will get the money they are deserving of. However, it's a step in the right direction. Hopefully, the NCAA will soon hold up their duty to protect their players after this ruling. What's so funny? You said duty. Don't you have to be stupid somewhere else? Not until 4. Alright, well, as you can see, the life of a college athlete is not easy, and it is because of these old policies the NCAA continues to uphold about amateurism. Luckily, this issue is becoming well known, so real change should come soon. However, if this continues, most players will continue to live in poverty and struggle to succeed in athletics and academics in order to retain their scholarships. Anything to add, Sarah? Huh? Thanks for watching Sarah and Sarah in the Morning Show. We'll see you right after this commercial break.